This is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you are listening to Potsy and Tino on the Potsy and Tino Show.
It's the Potsy and Tino Show. Talk the facts and let opinions blow. Laughs, hot takes, and maybe a rant. Two best buds with a mic and a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings you, it's a early time. That's
yes,
right.
Yes.
The Potsy and Tino Show. Our theme song, as always, is brought to you by that awesome little rant that we've got going on. But on top of that, he is Tino Gray. I am Rob Potsy Ponchak. We are the Potsy and Tino Show. And Tino, we always start the show with a little segment called What's Up With You. So tell me, sir, what has been going on?
Not a whole lot. So I told you I went to the eye doctor. What's it? Week before last, and they changed my prescription. I can't really see. They changed my prescription, and
you got new glasses.
I was waiting on my new glasses to come in, and they came in. I left Friday, and it's like they came through the postal service, so they give you that time frame. So first it's like between this time, and then it's like I'm gonna try to wait till the latest I can leave, and they still came
later,
20 minutes after I left. I was like, and so I'm like, well, fuck it. So I went into Hickory. I did my show Friday night, had a blast. Saturday, chilled in the hotel. Went and grabbed food real quick. Came back, watched SummerSlam night one in the hotel on my laptop. Phenomenal. Got up, went and did my show Saturday night. Had a blast. Came back Sunday. Chilled all day with Nicole. Went and got food again and watched What's Up, Michael Turner, and then watched night 2 of SummerSlam. So it's been, I managed to get SummerSlam in this weekend, and I managed to get, and then when SummerSlam, and we'll talk about it later, but when SummerSlam Sunday night was over with, I'm like, it was still early. I'm like, I'm not tired. So I'm like, oh yeah, Twisted Metal. So we'll talk about that.
I'm a little surprised you didn't just call me and go, let's do a show. But
nah, because it was like still 9:30, and you probably were drinking and long-winded. I would have been in this thing till midnight.
Actually, during SummerSlam, I wasn't. Tonight, however, I do want to point out. So it's funny you said that, because I got back from San Diego last week, and I did my 2 nights of trivia. I did Tuesday, Wednesday, and after Wednesday night, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going down to the beach. So I went to Myrtle Beach, and I was there from Thursday morning until like Sunday.
I got home. You went and saw Shorty and Shane?
Well, so Shorty, my sister, just so everybody knows who we're talking about, my sister Shorty was actually on a cruise. They just got a new dog, so Shane had to cancel his portion of the cruise so that he could take care of the dog.
Why didn't they just bring it here and let your nephew watch him?
It's a brand new dog for them, so they wanna get the dog acclimated and everything else.
You got too much money if you can pay for a trip and cancel it for a dog. If I pay all that money for a cruise,
I'm not disagreeing with you, and he might actually watch this. So all I'm going to say
is Shane. That's Tino's view. You make too much money, Shane. Give me about $300.
The opinion of the Potsy and Tino Show is not always the opinion of Potsy or Tino. This time it's the opinion of Tino. But no, so what was funny though was that I was like, well, shit. I know Shane's down there by himself. I don't really have anything going on last weekend. I'll go down. And when I was driving down, I got about halfway down and I was like, oh shit, it's SummerSlam weekend.
Yeah, because you
got. I was like, I should.
You're never in town for these pay-per-views, and there you go.
I literally, like, when I got there, I was like, I got to tell you, like, I came all the way down here, and I always make fun of Tino for not being around for the pay-per-views or PLEs, and yet he's not there, and now I'm not there. So, interestingly enough, one of the funniest parts about this was that my sister's flight into the dock that they were going to get so that they could, or where they needed to pick up their flight to come back, got canceled, right? Well, I don't know. It's
It's
like
getting canceled here lately.
shit gets canceled all the time now, and there's no damn reason behind any of it.
Father-in-law said he's done with flying back and forth from Dan Buffalo. I told you about his. He's like, fuck it, he's driving from now on.
Yeah. So anyway, their flight from like Fort Lauderdale to Raleigh, because my sister's car's in Raleigh, got canceled. So all of a sudden, my brother-in-law, we're in the pool at the beach club, and and he goes, "Hey, can you?" Because he's flying out at 4:00 in the morning today. So Monday morning, 4:00, he's got to be on a plane, and he's like, "Can you stay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't see why not." I didn't want to. I wanted to leave yesterday, you know? Luckily, my sister got on a plane yesterday, got up to Raleigh yesterday, drove back down to Myrtle Beach yesterday. So when I heard they were on the plane to Raleigh, I was immediately like, all right, I'm out. I'm going home. So I made it home in time to watch SummerSlam last night. So I got to watch night 2. I watched some of night 1, but I passed out while watching night 1. And I passed out to the point where, like, I was watching it on my iPad while I was in bed at my sister's place. And I woke up and my iPad was on the floor.
Oh, damn.
Luckily, it was on the floor on top of a pillow that had also fallen off the bed.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, you damn right it would have. So anyways, I did see everything that happened. I did watch the main event. So I know exactly what happened in the main event of night 1. I also know what happened the rest of the night, but I didn't watch all of it.
Dude, we were given, and I didn't get a chance to put my rating in there. You and Shavar, I think you gave it like a 7.5, 8. I give it a good 8, maybe pushing towards 8.5. It was good. I almost thought it was better than WrestleMania.
So I absolutely think it was better than WrestleMania, but I think WrestleMania was lackluster. So it's tough to jump into that. But before we get into all that, Tino, you know, we talked about what was going on with us. Obviously, I'm back in town. I'm sitting here in the Scrudio. I'm ready to sit here and talk about like what's going on. But we do have some TV to talk about because shows like Twisted Metal came back.
Sure.
And you know, like I put up Dexter Resurrection, Twisted Metal, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds. But Twisted Metal specifically, I know that you watched that. So
I don't watch those other ones, but Twisted Metal, oh my God. And we talked about it earlier. That show, I forgot how funny it was. You know what I mean? It was funny last, and this season, they still knocked it out the park. There's Samoa Joe. Even though
I was going to say, am I wrong to sit there and already say that the unsung hero of the show is Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth?
Oh my God!
Like if he wasn't in season 1, like him doing the ventriloquist puppet with the dead guy.
Oh, some people hadn't watched it yet, but
even still, that doesn't spoil shit.
Oh, that was hysterical. Yeah. I told you I was good.
And I love the fact that it. By the way, it's the same guy that does the voice of Bender from Futurama.
Will Arnett.
The voice. It's
something Arnett, isn't it?
No, it's is it Will Arnett?
I think it's Will Arnett.
You know what? It might be Will Arnett, which means it is not the same guy that does Bender. I thought it was John DiMaggio, but you're right. I think it is Will Arnett. But we talked about it after the first season. When you see Sweet Tooth and you see his emotion coming out and how he emotes and how he with the mask. And there was a line in these episodes where he sat there and said, "You didn't even see my mouth move."
That was while
he's doing the ventriloquist.
It is
Will Arnett. He's wearing a mask. But it's so good.
And you said there's that one part you laughed at out loud. I forget what you said it was.
It's right at the end of the third episode.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
He's sitting there. So Anthony Mackie's character is high as shit, and the way that he runs up to go
With
to
his
go
arms
say
to his
hi to
side.
Quiet, he's like, and he gets up there, and she's like, "You're high as fuck, aren't you?" And he goes, yup."
I ran away. No, and that part, but the part that made me laugh is when he was sitting in the room and she said, "Oh, and this is how I feel about my brother," or something on page 72. And he turned it and said, "Gotcha, made you look doo-doo face." He goes, "I'm not a doo-doo face." He's in the room by himself like a big kid.
That literally is like something you and I would do to each other. That's how funny that shit was.
But to see him in the room by himself like a big ass kid, just pouting, "I'm not a doo-doo face." That made me laugh because I was only in the bed watching it, and Nicole's like half asleep. She goes, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." It just made me laugh.
It absolutely. I watched it earlier today, and I was like, okay, they got me all over again, because I thought the first season was good, but like this season so far, I'm like, ooh.
I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with the new chick too. What Mayhem? They call her May. I wonder how she's gonna. Yeah, I wonder how she's gonna.
Well, they don't call her Mayhem. She calls her Mayhem.
Quiet calls her May.
Yeah. The best driver in all of the West.
Yeah, the West Coast. Yeah,
The
prove it.
best reader in all of the West Coast.
Eat my dust. That part was funny too. When she just running along, she said, "It's faster to canoe." Helios, yeah.
Yeah, this is Tino's fault. We hopped on early because he wants to watch Monday Night Raw tonight.
That and too, like I told you guys, I was out of town Friday night, Saturday night, came back Sunday, and watched the pay-per-view. And my wife leaves tomorrow for a couple of days, so I really, want to get a chance to at least hang out with her a little bit before she leaves. I want to get in and out early. So yeah,
we say we're going to get out early, but there is a lot to talk about.
Well, if not up by 8:30, Rob can continue the show. He's done the show by himself before because he knows if he gets long-winded, I'll go bloop later.
I still remember the one time you actually did that. And you were like, "Oops."
Yeah, that was an accident. This will be on purpose. All right, let's rock.
But we do have some weekly TV watching. Dexter Resurrection. I've been telling everybody it's a really good show. This past week's episode actually like touched upon the relationship between Dexter and his kid. I won't go into it, but I will say that if you like the show, if you like Dexter, this is one of those episodes where like it really starts playing with everything you know about the character and how it works. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, this might take a second or two to talk about, but they did a very meta episode this week. Okay. So, Tino, you know what the holodeck is, right?
Yes.
All right. So the holodeck, just so anybody who has never watched Star Trek before, is a technology that was prevalent in like Next Generation and on, but never in the original series. So the idea of having a holodeck episode in Strange New Worlds, which happens before Captain Kirk became the captain of the Enterprise, is pretty surprising. And they did it as if it were we're testing out new technology.
Oh, okay.
And on the episode, they actually explain exactly why the holodeck is built the way that it is. Now, for those that don't know, in the Next Generation, the holodeck is a structure that has its own power source on the Enterprise or on Voyager or on whatever ship, or heck, even Deep Space Nine, where they actually had a mini holodeck, right? So it has its own power source. And the reason why is because in this episode, as they were testing out this new technology, they constantly ran into the problem of it overusing the power of the ship. So they couldn't use shields, and they couldn't use life support, and they couldn't use this. And as with all of the episodes that have ever been holodeck related, when they're doing like the Sherlock Holmes episodes or whatever, you have to complete the mission before the holodeck lets you out. And the AI involved in it will not let you out until you've completed the mission.
Sounds like Quantum Leap.
Very similar. Yeah, 100%. But the people inside the holodeck are afraid for their lives for what's going on in like a night or an 1880s scenario, whereas everybody outside the holodeck are going, why can't we use shields right now, and why are we being attacked by Klingons? So it really did, and the storyline that they put in there, Tino, I don't want to ruin it for anybody that might watch it, but it is when I said it's a very meta episode, they use the guy that plays Captain Kirk in the show. His name's Paul Wesley, who was on the Vampire Diaries. So if you watch that show, you probably know what I'm talking about. And I say that because, interestingly enough, Tiffany Stratton, when she was in New York getting ready to get a cab or a car to where she was going, the people that got out of the car as she was getting ready to get in were Paul Wesley and the other guy from the Vampire Diaries, because I think they were supposed to be at a show.
Nice.
And she was a huge fan of Vampire Diaries, so she was wanting pictures with the two guys before she gets in the car.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
But anyway, so he is now Captain Kirk, but he's not captain. He's like Lieutenant Kirk. But when you see the cold open for the show, and you know what a cold open is, right?
Yes.
All right. So the cold open for the show is literally like this 1960s show about a starship and all this other stuff. And it's Paul Wesley doing his best William Shatner impression.
Nice.
And I mean, he is sitting there and he's like, why are we doing things this way? We need to make sure we go after the Adonians.
That so annoying.
Well, what's really funny about it is he was interviewed before the season even started, and he was like, you want to pay respect to the person that played the character before you, but you don't want to act like them. You don't want to just be them. So this episode was all about him being
Kirk.
that. And it was also directed by Jonathan Frakes, who played Will Riker on... Yeah. And by the way, probably the most prominent director of all Star Trek stuff at this point. He's also directed episodes of Leverage. He's directed episodes of The Librarians, directed episodes, all different shows that I happen to watch now. But he directed this episode, and they showed, like, my favorite part was as they were rolling the credits, they showed like fake bloopers. So you know what the Riker is, right? When he goes to sit down.
Mm-mm.
All right. So when Jonathan Frakes would sit down in a chair on The Next Generation, he wouldn't just sit down. He would lift his one leg over the chair and then like come in and sit. So they started calling that the Riker. And in the episode where they had like Lower Decks, Jack Quaid's character came in, and when he saw something like that, he goes, Riker! And he sat down on the chair and actually did that. And that episode also was directed by Jonathan Frakes, which makes it even funnier because that was not a line in the script. He just did it because he was like, I'm supposed to sit in this chair. I'm going to sit there and say Riker and do it. And everybody in the crowd laughed. But so like they show all this. So you see Paul Wesley's character try to do the Riker and the chair's too tall. So his leg like hits it. He knocks on and he's like, can someone fix the console here?
Wow.
But the whole meta episode is literally like what the first season of Star Trek truly was like. Like, for example, you ready for a trivia question here?
Okay.
Do you know who was the original person that greenlit Star Trek at Paramount Studios?
Mm-mm.
You ready? You ready to have your mind blown? It was Lucille Ball.
What?
It was Lucy.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so think about that. And one of the characters, played by Rebecca Romaine, is actually supposed to be the Lucille Ball character in the episode, which is insane. So I don't want to ruin it for anybody. I will tell everybody here that Star Trek Strange New Worlds is the absolute best Star Trek I've ever watched. And I loved Picard season 3, which, by the way, for one season is probably the best overall one season of Star Trek I've ever watched. But Star Trek Strange New Worlds, since it started, we're in season 3 now. It has been amazing.
Okay.
And if you like Star Trek, this happens before Kirk takes over. And they just approved it for season 5. They're in season 3 right now. Season 5 is going to be 6 episodes. And the rumor is that the last...
Season 4?
Well, they're going to have season 4.
Okay.
But they've approved season 5.
Got it.
They've already filmed season 4. They're doing all the post work and all the special effects right now. But season 5 is going to be 6 episodes, and it's supposed to end with James Kirk taking over the Enterprise.
Okay.
They've even said if this new Paramount Skydance separation of the two companies, like Skydance apparently bought certain parts of it or whatever, if all that goes well, that there's hope that they'll do a show called Star Trek Year One, and that's actually going to be the first season with Captain Kirk using these same actors now, but kind of playing into the whole original series.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm all for it. Like, the way they've done this show, like, they can do whatever they want. Like figure out a way to keep Pike alive. Like, the whole series started with Pike already knowing what happens to him. And if you've ever watched Star Trek, the original series, you know that the very first episode had Captain Pike. Every episode after that had Captain Kirk. And then there was one episode like midway through season 2 that was called The Menagerie that had Captain Pike, and he's like a vegetable. And like, so this Pike knows what's going to happen to him. And yet he's still carrying on the mission. Pretty awesome. Anyways, I've absolutely loved it. Twisted Metal's been great the first 3 episodes. Can't wait for more. I'm hoping it goes more than 8 episodes. I'm hoping it goes at least 10. Started watching Ballard on Prime as well, which is from the Bosch series. So if you've watched The Lincoln Lawyer, or you watch Bosch, it's from those books. It's all right, but I wasn't as interested in that as I was these other 3 shows that I posted up here.
Okay.
All right. Tino, we talked about this, about what we expected from it last week. We've now had a chance to watch it. WWE Unreal. And I don't want to spend a massive amount of time on it, but I want to know your initial thoughts after watching this series, because I know you did.
Yeah. It was interesting, but I think it was a glorified, what is it, a 365 that they show getting ready for WrestleMania. You know what I'm talking about?
I absolutely agree. I said it felt like one of those WWE 24/7s. It also felt like one of those 365s. I did feel like the access to the back room and the writer's room was a little bit more, and I liked the explanations. I liked the explanation of the gorilla position. as well as seeing people like Bobby Roode and you seem to have a specific feeling about one Joseph Park.
Yes. Okay. So, and I don't, am I weird for that? Right. So,
No, because obviously someone else that we were talking to also had the same feeling.
because it started out when I think that the match was going over. It was CM Punk and Seth Rollins, I think was the match that they were showing. And they were like, how much are we over? He's like, a minute 45. And he's like, oh my God, oh my God. And he's trying to get them to go home. I'm trying, boss. I'm trying. And Pritchard's like, it's cool, it's all right. Da, 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 da. So they finished this match. And he goes over to Pritchard. I'm so sorry, boss. It won't happen again. Please, boss. Are you okay, boss? And then he goes to Regal, and Regal's pretty much telling him like, chill out. And he's
Well,
like,
now, do me a favor. Explain to everybody who did not have a chance to watch this what you're talking about.
all right. So, Chris Parks, who was Abyss in TNA, is now a producer in WWE. Now, what a producer does is they get with your, and I guess he was producing that match. So he's in charge of making sure, this match goes off right. He goes over the moves with them and all this other stuff, right? He makes sure they need to, the time. And so he's back there in Gorilla timing it, letting the ref know so the ref can tell the wrestlers. Well, the wrestlers aren't listening to the ref, right? Bruce Pritchard, who you guys know as Brother Love, I forget what he is. He's high up too. So
He's an executive producer.
Yes. So Parks reports to Pritchard. So imagine Rob is my manager and he's told me to go out and do XYZ. And I've gone and told my people, you need to do XYZ. Well, my people aren't doing what the fuck I told them. And I got Rob, my boss, over me. And I'm like, I'm trying. Right.
Well, and to break it down even further, we're talking about you have Triple H, who is the head. You have Bruce Pritchard sitting right next to him, and then you have Joseph Park sitting right next to him.
I don't think Triple H is there because Pritchard was standing up. Parks was sitting.
Triple H is always right there, and the only time he's not is if he's out.
Well, I didn't see him because I was watching Pritchard because he was trying to kiss Pritchard's ass, and Kidman was the one, like I guess, a timekeeper telling them time.
Funny to hear that Billy Kidman is the timekeeper,
right? So after the match, like I said, he goes up to Bruce, and Bruce is kind of like, okay, yeah. He's like, I'm sorry. And then William Regal's trying to calm him down. He goes, I just want to make sure he's not mad at me. And so Pritchard's here. William Regal's here. He's talking to him. Is he mad at me? Fucking ask him. He's standing right next to him.
Well, what I liked about that was Regal sat there and said, was it good?
Yeah.
And we're on Netflix. Does it matter? And that's when Chris Park was like, if it was good, I guess not. And he goes, exactly. And that was what I loved about that because they're not held to that same time frame. Like if you've got a hard out, so what number one thing that I did not like about WWE Unreal and the way that I would have presented this show, just so you know, is I wouldn't have done it with these episodes. I would have done it with NXT. And the reason why I would have done it with NXT is because it is a learning and a growth area. So seeing them, knowing that, hey, the same thing, we had the launch on CW. We had this. We had that ECW show. We had this. The only reason why they did it with the other is because they're better well-known names and they're going to get a better bump from people watching it. Had they done it with NXT, which if you notice, when they're actually talking about what's going on with WWE television, they didn't mention NXT at all. It wasn't even on their calendar. And that's like, if I was Shawn Michaels, I'd be pissed. And Shawn Michaels is Triple H's best friend. I'd be pissed because he literally runs their developmental. Like, if someone goes down with an injury on Raw or SmackDown, Shawn Michaels has to be ready to send his best guy or girl up there.
Is that were those all the episodes for this? Is that the season?
Yes, the 5 episodes was the season.
So I didn't know, maybe they're gonna come out with more, maybe have NXT in there sprinkled in somehow.
No, it'll be interesting to see whether or not it gets picked back up because a lot of people didn't like it. But at the same time, you and I didn't think that I thought exactly what you thought. I thought it was a glorified one of those 365s, or I did like the dip, dipping your foot into the writer's room.
And some people were saying they thought that might even been staged just because they knew the cameras were there.
Some of it might have been, but people like CM Punk actually have gone on record saying, I didn't know when the cameras were there and when they weren't. And I mean, they had cameras right in his fucking face. I thought the show was good. I thought that certain people really came off in a good light. I think that when you watch CM Punk, he really does seem like a changed person. Which could be,
except for the part.
Okay.
It sounded like he was a little bit jealous because he couldn't, and it might be part of their feud. He couldn't seem to give Seth Rollins his due. If you notice, he said Seth Rollins is me. It was a young CM Punk. He still had to throw that dig in there. So I don't know if that's still he's playing into that script that they don't get along, or is he still like, I'm still relevant too? You know what I mean?
Well, do you think that that's really a dig, or do you think that that's actually maybe even a I'm giving him his credit because I am CM Punk and he's a young CM Punk?
Maybe. It just came out. It was weird.
And obviously the way that it comes across is going to be different to everybody that listens, right? Mm-hmm. I do. You know what's funny is the one thing that I thought was really interesting is that the one person that still tried to protect the kayfabe, and for those that don't know, kayfabe is the slang term for the understanding of business. The only person that actually tried to keep the kayfabe there was John Cena. Every time they talked to him,
he didn't want to answer the question.
He didn't answer the question. And they had an entire episode about his heel turn, which I think leads into Friday night, which I do have a moment for us to talk about Friday night before we actually talk about SummerSlam. But he was the only one that didn't. Like, he said, did we get you? Then that's what matters. And he kept with the kayfabe. And it was interesting because obviously they did that entire episode where they said, we wouldn't have done this without John's approval. We wouldn't have done it without him saying he wanted to do it and say, let's go all in with it. And then we see what happened this weekend. Right? And I'll specifically get to that in a minute. But what did you think overall? Like, if you were to give it out of 10, what would you give the 5 episodes? I'd say a 7.
I was going to say 7.5. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the understanding of what the writer's room is, I thought was a lot of stuff that even though you only got like 5 or 10 minutes of it, maybe even per episode, maybe not even that much, I felt like that really is what that show was meant to be.
And I think people like you and I know some stuff. So somebody who doesn't know anything, like I knew about the gorilla position. I knew that you got there practice, and I knew you practiced shit. I knew you had to be there on time. The writer's room was what that interested me, but everything else, I'm like, I've seen it.
The best thing I heard, so all week, every show was talking about whether or not this was good or bad for the business, right? Mm-hmm. And every show, like Sam Roberts, I was listening to Not Sam Wrestling, and he sat there and he had a guy sitting there going, I think it's bad for wrestling. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know that. And then all of a sudden, Sam Roberts goes, I disagree with you. And here's why I disagree with you, because you are on a show right now where we talk about how the sausage is made every day. So you absolutely want to know how the sausage is made. You just don't like how they presented it to you.
That part. And
I was like, he's 100% right.
Got him.
Like, I I listen to wrestling podcasts. You listen to wrestling podcasts. I listen to Busted Open. You listen to different things. Like, and now with Sirius XM sitting there going, hey, we're giving you 24 hours a day of pro wrestling. Like, they literally know that we want to know as much about the backstage stuff as possible. So if we didn't, we would just watch Raw and SmackDown and we wouldn't watch anything else.
Yes.
So I totally disagree with what that guy said, and I absolutely state that. Michael Turner actually said, don't like Unreal. I don't want to see how the cake is made. I just want to eat it. Michael, I disagree, because if that were true, based on what I just said, you wouldn't want to listen to us breaking everything down every week. And yet you do, and we love you for it. But it does make you rethink that statement. At least I feel like it does. You might think I'm wrong, and we can have a discussion about it. You can even put it in the comments. That's perfectly fine. We can talk more about it as we move on to the other topics. My point. What's that?
I was looking on Sirius. He said 24 hours of wrestling. That's what I was serious. I was looking like, yep, I see it.
Pro Wrestling World 24/7.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Nation 24.
Yeah,
Is that,
yeah.
Is that not just Sam, or is that everybody?
That's Busted Open from 9 to 12. It's Not Sam Wrestling from 12 to 2. It's the Coach from 2 to 4. It's and then they do Busted Open After Dark.
I just downloaded it. Oh, well, I just added it to my series. Sorry. You said that. I'm like, what?
They literally got rid of the MMA hour. They got rid of the boxing talk. They got rid of all of that. And they literally went to a 24/7. And you know, I've talked about Busted Open. I've talked about other ones. I'm trying not to.
That's what I say, because as much as you talked about it, they need to sponsor our ass.
I know. Or they need to just put us on 1 day, 2 days a week, and we can sit there and talk on there. You know, now they've got 24 hours, but they do repeat certain things, so they don't have a full 24 hours a day. They've got like 7 hours and then 1 hour after Raw. Actually, every night of the week, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, and even TNA, they've got 1 hour after those shows broadcast, so they can talk about those like as an after show.
Okay.
But there is still like 5 hours in between all that they're not actually talking about anything. Michael says, yes, I do love the show. Going to be here as much as I can. So far as Raw and SmackDown and Pie. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
PLE. Yeah, I thought it said pie. Well, he said the cake earlier, so I thought it was just pie this time. Just give it to me, and also you guys show just yes, absolutely, and we obviously appreciate it. Tino, I am ready to jump into what happened, and before we actually jump, you know, I want to talk about AEW. There were a couple things I want to talk about AEW this week. So when we talk about it, Hangman versus Moxley. You were telling me about this last week. They had another match. It was no one is allowed to come to the ring. And what happened?
They came anyway. Why did
every fucking buddy came to the ring?
But then someone came and distracted them away from the ring. You remember?
So another person came down to the ring. Yes, it was Darby Allin.
He didn't come to the ring.
No, he dove into everybody.
Yeah, but he did it from the skybox. I don't think he ever made it down the ringside.
No, I think you're right. So Darby Allin ends up taking out the entire Death Riders, blah, blah, blah. John Moxley kicks out of the
Deadeye?
I know what
you're talking about.
The clothesline from hell, from outside the ring.
Can't remember what it's called.
Not what he called it.
Buckshot Lariat.
Buckshot Lariat. Kicks out of the Buckshot Lariat. But Hangman still gets the win. Hangman still gets the 1, 2, 3. Hangman is still your AEW World Champion.
I think they just had to close that because Moxley, you know, that they had to get the obligatory rematch. So I think he lost the rematch. So hopefully,
I hope this means that Moxley's going to take some time off. we talked about this after he lost the match. I kind of feel like he needs to. I also want to point out that the very first match of the night was the Outriders versus talent name was on the screen. But before I actually get into talent name, I do want to go ahead and say Tino had to message me my own joke back to me because Taz brought it up that he needed a pack of Newports based on the Outriders or Outrunners.
Like you said, they look like cigarettes. But Taz did on the air. And even I had to pause it because I was laying in the bed. I said, Nicole, look at this. Because she used to smoke Newports. I said, what's that look like? She goes, like Newport cigarettes.
And there were 2 mentions of the Newport cigarettes, by the way, during that match. Two mentions. The first one was very early, and he said, Shivani knows what I'm talking about. And I thought that was hilarious. But you know, there was a lot of talk about how this match should have went on after Moxley and Page. And while I agree that they would have been able to handle the pressure of being on after it, the whole reason why this match happened first was because the Young Bucks are supposed to look like jobbers. And the crowd was chanting jobbers at them. And I loved it. The problem that I had with it is that the fuckers won the match.
Well, you know they're still not gonna.
But the Outrunners or Outriders?
Outrunners.
Outrunners. The Outrunners absolutely deserve to win a match like that.
They're setting it up for it. I know what they're doing. They're setting it up for the FTR.
FTR versus the Bucks again. Yeah, I agree.
Again, this is, and like I said, both WWE and AEW. This is another time they're guilty of it. I don't care if I can see what's going to happen. I don't care.
Right. You surprise. And you know what? This goes back to the very first episode of Dynamite when Top Flight took on the Young Bucks, and who won that match?
Top Flight.
Top Flight won that.
And then I was like, hell yes.
Yeah. And we were like, we didn't see that coming.
Nope.
But this time, the team that we absolutely, everybody is sitting there going, these guys are over. Give them a fucking win. What do? They eat the fucking pin. And not even in a good way.
No.
Like they tried to do the you son of a bitch twice. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to mention that. At the end of the episode, where everybody was talking about how they were afraid that the women couldn't actually compete with that Hangman and Moxley match.
Shit.
We had a tag team match where it was Athena and
Billy Starks.
Billy Starks versus Tony Storm and
Alex Windsor.
And I even feel like the commentary team didn't really know who Alex Windsor was because I felt like they kept calling it Alex Windsor. Windsor and Windsor. They kept changing it.
That's the way it's spelled. It's weird, but yeah, they know who she is because she's from a big UK wrestler. That's why they brought her over here. That's why they brought her over because she's badass. I've seen tape on her. She's bad.
And I mean, she is. She's really good at what she does. And this match showed that. The women did everything they could to keep that crowd involved in that Chicago area. And I think they did a bang-up job. The fact that Athena actually pinned Tony Storm, though, worries me. Because as we get closer to the two of them actually being in a singles match,
they're doing the same thing. Athena's gonna win, so she can fucking face CEO, so CEO could fucking pin her. Bet. Watch what I say. Watch what.
So you think Athena's actually going to beat Tony Storm? Okay, we'll get there.
Because remember, you still got that. You still got Monet still hanging out. What the fuck? You still got Monet hanging out. By the way, it's my daughter's birthday, so maybe they did that for her.
Well, happy birthday, Haley. And then the only other thing from AEW I want to talk about is this. It didn't take long, did it? And I don't know what caused it. Like, I really didn't. I don't know if I saw what caused it.
He pissed Bobby Lashley off last week. I can't remember what he did, but I kind of saw it coming. I think I don't know if they put MJF to try to get him over, or if they put MJF with them because nobody was booing the Hurt Syndicate, right? But I don't think it was working. I don't think so. People still cheer, so they split them up. I think that's what happened.
I'm wondering if MVP and MJF are going to split off.
Because he said MJF, no, he said MVP wasn't there because he was disgusted with him. But I don't.
But MVP is a heel, and everybody's cheering for the Hurt Syndicate.
I didn't think that.
And MJF is a heel. Like, I could see them bringing Cedric Alexander in to be the third member of the Hurt Syndicate, and they kick MVP and MJF out.
Yeah, MVP, MJF, they both have initials.
Exactly. But I really liked how Cedric, or not Cedric, Shelton Benjamin had more mic time in this segment than he had during his entire last run with the WWE.
So I think Lashley and MVP weren't there, and they were like, give it to Sheldon.
And he crushed it.
Yes.
Like him sitting there saying this Timu watch, throwing it on the ground and stomping on it.
Funny.
Amazing.
You think I can't tell a fake watch when I see a fake one? I was like, oh, shit.
All right. So now I got one thing to talk about before we actually get to SummerSlam. And I think it's very important that we talk about this.
This is why, and I think it was a red herring. Everybody thought, oh, he just turned face, so now we have to have Cody turn heel.
I don't know if that's the case. All right. The pundits out there are sitting there specifically saying, why turn John Cena babyface on Friday Night SmackDown a night or 2 nights before his match against Cody?
Because they might have known what was going to happen in a night 2, and they weren't sure how he was going to get.
But the other side is, why not beat the babyface out of John Cena? So make him sit there and become a babyface in the match, because it was a street fight. You could do that.
And Cody was playing the heel. Some of the shit he was doing was heelish.
Well, they both were.
Yeah.
They both wrapped each other's necks in the bottom
That's
rope.
what I'm
they
saying.
both hit each other with chairs. They both and here's the fact: is it was a street fight that is 100% legal. Like, you don't ask for a street fight to not hit people with chairs.
So what did you think of him dropping the heel gimmick right there?
So in the moment, and all right. You want the real, because I'm about to hit you with it.
Okay.
I think everything that John Cena said was what Triple H felt backstage. I feel like everything that's been going on since WrestleMania, since The Rock did not show up, has been Triple H trying to sit there and make good. And I think that John Cena's words weren't just John Cena's. I do think they were his. Because when he sat there and said, the people that talked me into this
have left me alone, and it isn't how I really felt. And I think that that's both him and Triple H. And I think that is... And especially with WWE Unreal coming out this week and them doing the whole episode about John Cena's heel turn, and then backstage talking, because remember, The Rock and Brian Gewirtz had absolute final say on how that episode was presented. So them sitting there and
maybe even having Triple H go, well, I called The Rock. The Rock loved the idea. We ran it. Because if you remember, they said the last person they talked to was John Cena. Like, how is that supposed to be what he wants to do if it's the last fucking person they talked to?
Well, I think they meant that they ran the idea by him, and Triple H said it's up to you if you want to do it or not.
But they ran it by everybody else, and everybody else was like, "Oh, this sounds great." That's bullshit. Like, and I'm going to tell you, when you watch that Friday night promo, we were all sitting there thinking, "Oh, Sunday night, he's gonna pull the wool over our eyes. Well, he's gonna grab a microphone and say, 'See what I did? I can turn you like that.'"
I didn't. I thought that Cody was going to turn heel.
Well, you did, but there was still the possibility that John Cena comes out and he goes, "Ha ha!" Because even the way they started his entrance, it still was the full black screen before they popped.
Yeah, but the reason why I thought it was and I think I said this in a text to you too. Cody came out to do his. I think he came out first, right?
Yeah.
And then Cena came out. Cody didn't really say anything, and his facial expressions to me, he was like, and he put.
I don't know. I
like,
disagree because we'll obviously talk about that match more, but when I saw Cody come out and he saw those words from Dusty Rhodes from the two different promos put together, he looked like he was going to cry.
I thought so too, but I thought maybe it was just hearing his dad's voice too, and
I mean, sure,
yeah,
but he looked like he was going to cry. The fact of the matter is that they dropped the gimmick. They did it on a Friday night in New York. And if there's one place that you're going to get a guy from Massachusetts over as a babyface by dropping something like that, it's in New York. And you can tell me I'm wrong, but I mean, we're talking Yankees and Red Sox here. Okay. We're literally talking the Jets and the Patriots. He was wearing Jets colors in the ring on Friday night. And did you notice what kind of beer they drank?
It was Steve Austin's beer. What was it?
It was Real American beer.
I didn't look at it because
it was Hogan's beer.
Yeah.
It looked like a Pabst Blue Ribbon, but
that's why I thought it was Stone Cold's beer.
But it was a Hogan's Real American beer. I loved it. The fact that Cody actually looked like he bought into it. But we were all like, we all were sitting there wondering whether or not it was real. Like, I know that you said that you thought Cody was definitely going heel if John Cena went babyface, but it was wild. And the fact that he was able to turn them within 30 seconds, the entire 14,000 person crowd.
He's the man, dude.
It was impressive. All right, ready to jump into
yeah, let's do it.
So here we go. We had Slim Jim tables, but we had no LA Knight, who is the Slim Jim spokesperson. What the fuck?
That was later, dude. That was during the table
ladder. That's all night. That's 2 nights.
Oh.
No LA Knight on on SummerSlam.
They need to release him and let him go do his thing.
All right. We open the night with Roman and Jay versus Braun and Bronson.
Yes. The Brawns.
The Braun.
Braun squared.
Match started clunky.
It did start clunky, and it was better than I thought it was going to be. But what surprised me at the end, it was something small. I mean, Roman took that spear for Jay. Now, how many times in the past 5 years have you seen Roman sacrifice himself for anybody?
Maybe at War Games. But even that, I think it was someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm like...
I think it was Sammy actually sacrificed himself.
Yeah, so he pushed him out of the way. I was surprised to see that.
Did you notice though that like the entire time, like when they were doing the run back and they were doing the yeet and everything, that Roman was actually sitting there like going with it?
Yeah, like
You know?
I think they're trying to, because he came back. I don't want to say he was a tweener because people were cheering him, but
No,
I
he
think
was baby face, straight up
pushing
baby.
him towards the face. So what is that? Why is he playing? He's never played to the crowd before. What is he doing?
Well, he plays to the crowd all the time. He sits there, he does this, the whole crowd puts their hand up. You know,
Well,
like,
what I mean.
well, yeah. I mean, obviously, what he's doing is he's saying, "I'm not long for this," but Jay is.
Okay.
And after watching Unreal, I can say this: Jay didn't look like he was gassed. You know, they flat out, like he actually said multiple times. I truly think that the reason why he's not world heavyweight champion right now going into SummerSlam is because he couldn't get his wind.
You know why I couldn't? Because I think, if you noticed, he's calmed down that entrance. Because before, he'd come down, yeet, yeet, he'd come down, yeet, yeet, yeet. And by the time he got in the ring, he was done. If you notice, he doesn't stop all those times to yeet anymore. He'll stop, and then he'll come down, and then he'll do the high, and then he'll get up and he'll yeet. I think that's what was winding him. Was he gassed himself out before he even got in the ring.
I 100% agree. At the same time, you're a professional fucking wrestler. You want that rocket strapped to your ass. You need to put a 40-minute match together.
Not everybody's an ultimate warrior, you know. Motherfucker.
Well, and again,
and shake the ropes and still go.
well, like I said, well, no, the Ultimate Warrior was always gassed. That's the thing. He had a 4-minute match in him. He was the first Goldberg. We can sit there and admit to that. When it comes to Jey Uso, I think it became very obvious that he was very dependent on Jimmy Uso, like carrying half of a match.
He said so. He said he's in the
Yeah.
show. He said
I was gassed.
from going from being, like you said, used to a tag team, going by himself. So he'll get that belt back again. I think it was a learning thing. He learned all shit. I can't do it like this. I've got to change.
But I think that's why they took it from him.
Probably.
And I think that episode where when Triple H sat there and said, "Are you okay?" and he goes, "Yeah, I gassed out." And he goes, "Got to get that cardio up, kid." Like, you're talking to one of the greatest of all time, who's also in charge of everything.
Yeah, but Triple H never ran in the ring. His ass walked in the ring, took his sweet ass time.
But see, that's the whole point. Like if you're gonna have an entrance like that, okay. So let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. If Tommaso Ciampa were to have the same entrance as Jey Uso and be over like he is, Tommaso Ciampa wouldn't be gassed, because that dude has a fucking gas tank on him. Like, we've seen it. When he does that, like, kick constantly going back and forth, and he doesn't gas out. Like,
Breaker, but that thing they mentioned, something about Braun Breaker's not gassed out. That motherfucker runs like a beast too.
There you go.
All right, I got you.
You know, so fun match to start SummerSlam. Like, and the thing that people are constantly saying right now online is, can you believe Roman actually opened the show? And let's go back to what Paul Heyman used to say all the time:
open,
you either open or you close. And by the way, opening night 2 isn't the same as opening the show.
No.
You open the show, you set it up for success, and you make everybody follow you. And that's what they did. Did the match start a little bit wonky? Absolutely. Did it pick up? Did it get to where it needed to be? 100%. And you know who the fucking MVP of the match was? Braun Breaker. Like, that dude blew out his knee, and you saw him do it on that table.
Is that
oh yeah. And when he blew out his knee, he got up, he kept going, and he still ran at 23 miles an hour. Like, he probably doesn't have a tendon on that knee right now, and he still sat there and ran faster than anybody else I've ever seen. All right. Next up, Charlotte and Alexa defeat the Judgment Day for the Women's Tag Team Championships. The first championship to actually change hands at SummerSlam this year.
I was kind of worried at the end of that match after Alexa accidentally hit Charlotte, and at the end of the match she had what she had
They gave that great camera angle.
She had Roxanne ready for the sister Abigail, and all of a sudden you see Charlotte just come up and she's just staring a hole in the back of her head. And Lexi must have felt it because she turned and looked at her, and Charlotte just shook her head and kicked the shit out of Raquel to let her. So I was like, oh God, is she getting ready to do it?
So the rumor is that the camera was supposed to be a little bit further back so you could actually see Raquel. Because Charlotte was actually looking right at Raquel the whole time.
Oh, I thought she was T.
Right. They wanted to give you that dissension feel, but then that's why she kicked her head off instead. I am still not 100% behind this tag team. I still think that they did it to try to siphon the fans off of Alexa Bliss to Charlotte Flair.
And that's something we disagree on, but okay.
Well, we can disagree on it. The fact is that like Charlotte was booed out of the building up until she was with Alexa Bliss. And now they're tag team champions.
She wasn't booed. She started getting cheered again. I'm telling you, after that article came out, she started getting cheered again. Then they put her with Alexa. I think that article made a whole lot of people see her in a different way.
I don't disagree. I think that you're right. But I still think that if she were just winning every singles match, we'd fall right back into the same.
So now she wins every tag team match. What's the fucking difference?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just saying. Sami Zayn defeated Karrion Kross. Now, we talked about this one last week. Karrion Kross rumored to be almost out of his contract. I know that WrestleOps, when I was looking up the SummerSlam results and the Raw the Raw breakdown for tonight, it basically said, does this mean Karrion Kross is on his way out?
That's what I'm thinking too, dude. I'm like, but why? I mean, Karrion Kross he's got it, dude. He can do the mic. He's got the size. He's got the tank. He fucking hung with Sami Zayn. Why are they not pushing this dude?
The question that you have to ask yourself is, was his character broken by the old regime, and has it not made it back? Because now he's been on 2 PLEs and he's put up good performances. Now, granted, this was an 8-minute match and it should have been longer.
They fucked him up when they brought him up from NXT. That Cross in NXT
that was Vince McMahon. We know that. Because Vince McMahon had him lose his very first match while he was still the NXT champion. He lost that first match to Jeff Hardy.
And put him in that stupid outfit. If they'd have kept him the same and brought him up, that Karrion Kross right now would probably be a world champion.
And very, very possible. So where do you see Karrion Kross 6 months from now?
Languishing in the mid card where he doesn't belong.
You expect him to still be with WWE?
Oh, I mean, TNA.
I don't see him in AEW.
No, that's what I'm saying. TNA is the best bet for him because AEW, that, like I said, they'll use him as a shiny new toy for a couple months and they'll relegate him. I think he will be better off in TNA.
Well, he would be great in TNA because he could be Killer Kross there, and you could still show up on NXT and still, he could easily beat Trick Williams for the TNA championship. Like I could see that. I see if he doesn't re-sign with WWE, TNA is a good dropping point, and I really like you saying that. But I think that New Japan is the right spot for him. That strong style.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after I sent you the list of this past weekend's Bloodsport. Like, how many WWE wrestlers were on that? Charlie Dempsey, Natalya. I mean, both Ivar and Eric from the War Raiders. I mean, like that entire card was like every other person was a WWE wrestler, and they were just not booked on on SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing, by the way, because I mean that they have nothing to do with WWE. So, all right, here we go with one of the interesting ones. Tiffy time is still happening.
That surprised me.
I think it surprised everybody. I mean,
But
I know that I said that I expected Jade Cargill to walk out with that championship, but I did say I see a world where Tiffy still has it.
yeah, that surprised me.
That's all you got?
That's all I got, dude. That was it was a good match. It was hard hitting to be a women's match because they're both powerful. They're both strong as shit. You know what I'm saying? But very athletic, hard hitting.
You know, the good thing about that was that
Yeah,
it was like the first time that we really got to see Tiffany Stratton hit hard. Now she had that Falls Count Anywhere match or last woman standing match against Nia Jax, but this is like the first time that like it was just,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So absolutely, I like and by the way, for those that watched WWE Unreal, all the people that thought that Tiffany Stratton lost a tooth during her match against Charlotte Flair,
They were
she actually
fake
she said that she had fake teeth in.
Why does she have fake teeth?
I think that they were like falsies on the front, and that got broken and fell out to make her teeth look like they're all perfectly straight and white and everything else.
She must have set the bar or something from Ava.
Who? What?
Ava. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. Wow.
Well, Michael Turner just laid down the law on that one.
Wow.
So I still caught me off guard. I was still kind of expecting, especially after hearing some interviews with both of them this week. Tiffany Stratton flat out said, babyface, heel, doesn't matter. I'm the same person either way. I love that about her. And she's absolutely right. She hasn't changed her character at all, which is why she works so well. Jade Cargill basically sitting there saying she's everything that WWE wants for a champion, and I'm everything that needs to be champion. And didn't win the belt, so I guess we get to see where this goes.
I think her time's coming, though. Maybe they're.
I think she's turning heel.
Hmm.
I think Jade's turning heel, and I think she'll win that title in a rematch.
Got it. I can see that.
Yeah, because let's be real, Jade will probably come into her own as a real mean bitch.
Because that's what she was in AEW. She was
but as a real mean bitch in WWE, it means that like shorter matches, cheating to win, getting your because she never cheated to win in AEW.
Didn't have to.
Yeah. Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre beat Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. By the way, I want to go ahead and go on record as saying I saw this coming.
I thought for a little bit, I'm like, they fucking killed Jelly Roll because he laid there, right? I'm like, he's either selling really well or they fucked him up for real and he can't get up.
They squished them grapes, man. They squished them grapes.
Turned out he was selling really well, but for what it was, he held his own.
And he showed up the next night. But did it surprise you to see the babyface celebrity lose?
It did, because I told you I figured he would get his comeuppance, especially since they jumped him in the gym. And again, like I said, it just always goes back to the 5-year-old me. If you get the better of the person anytime before the PLE, you getting your comeuppance, and that person's gonna. So they beat his ass. So I'm like, okay, Jello and Orton win. That was my logic behind it.
There is rumor that Jelly Roll has more than a one-match deal.
Yeah, I saw that. I read something that Triple H was saying. Yeah, that Jelly Roll wants to come back. Oh, I think it was at the press conference. And said you can't stop him from coming back. So I'm sure he's going to be back.
So I want to point that out, but I also want to point out that my game that I play on my phone, WWE Supercard, was so impressed by Drew McIntyre getting stuck in Europe this past weekend that they put out a specialty card that was the Drew McIntyre card, where it was just a cow that you could use to improve your statistics.
That is fucking funny.
The Drew McIntyre card, yes.
That is awesome.
Like it came with another Drew McIntyre card as well, but there was a Drew McIntyre card, and I absolutely loved it. It's a black and white cow. There's just a big white stripe down the center of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right, I believe we had one more match on night one. CM Punk versus Gunther.
Here's another.
Now, up until this point, what would you have given SummerSlam night one? Based on everything I read and kind of what I watched, I would say a B minus.
Oh, okay, we're doing that now. Yeah, B minus, probably a B.
So you're being positive about it.
Because it wasn't like terrible. Like I said, it still beat SummerSlam. I mean WrestleMania. So night one saved it. Night two saved it. Night one. So we had. I'm trying to think of the matches we just went over.
We had Roman and Jay versus Braun and Bronson.
Mm-hmm.
We had Charlotte and Alexa versus the Judgment Day. We had a title change. We had Sami Zayn beat Karrion Kross. We had Tiffany Stratton retain against Jade Cargill. And we had Logan Paul and Drew beat Jelly Roll and Randy Orton.
Yeah, I probably gave it a C.
So a C. Okay. So not even a B plus or a B minus. I said B minus, which would technically be a C plus.
Okay.
So okay. Then
C,
we got to this.
I might give it a C plus because the Punk this match saved
well,
it.
Well, I said up until now.
Oh, up until now, yeah, a C.
Okay. Then we got this. 30 minutes of Gunther beating the shit out of CM Punk.
This is what brought me up to a B.
I mean, this match alone, like, had everybody that I read sitting there talking about how this is a top 10 SummerSlam match of all time.
But also going into this match too, you notice that Gunther hurt his nose or broke his whatever in the match. He went in, his nose was fucked up going into this match, which is why he's going to be out now having surgery on his nose. So I like the way they incorporated it in the match.
Thanks for breaking kayfabe.
And what the fuck ever. And you watch Unreal. And you can read that anyway. It's all it's on the dirt sheets, it's on Bleacher Report, it's all over the place anyway.
Yes,
So,
Gunther's going to be out for a little while. Of course, the funniest part about it is nobody could tell exactly where his nose got busted open in the match, and it happened in a spot where it's like, why?
No, it got supposedly is when I guess he came from under the tables. I can't remember what move knocked him into that table, because when he came up from under the table, that's when all the blood was coming out his nose.
So, and yes, it seemed like that was a planned spot to make sure that Gunther actually is going to be out for a while. Sorry, folks, breaking kayfabe for you. We're doing Unreal moments. But the match itself, Gunther owned him. He put him through the ringer. He made it so that, like, CM Punk, when he won the match, had nothing left.
Now, before we go into, I'm gonna tell you what I thought was funny about this match. So you had the ring general. Did you see what the sponsor was for this match?
Mm-mm.
The General Life Insurance. It had a picture of the General all over the place.
I think Gunther's actually done commercials for them.
that just made me laugh when I realized it. I'm like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, he did. Punk did get some good offense in, and he had him a couple times where he pretty much could have choked him out, but Gunther, reversed it and got out of it. I remember telling you too earlier in the night, one of the reasons I thought that they did the B squared match was I was reading, because supposedly, somebody was hurt, that they were going to give Braun Breaker, have him cash in on behalf. And then so I'm like, okay, they did that match. Remember, I texted you. I said, oh, this is the first match of the night. So maybe what I heard is going to be true. CM Punk wins. He's celebrating. They're showing all the highlights of the match as they do. And then all of a sudden you get Burn It Down. And he comes out on crutches.
He comes out on crutches with Paul Heyman. Now, I want to go ahead and are you ready for me to shit on this? Because I'm going to shit on it. First thing that happens is he sits there and starts saying something. He's not on a mic. Like, why the fuck isn't he on a mic?
Because because people were cheering. He's like, he was supposedly just talking shit, because he's just talking shit. He's saying, and then you hear what he's saying. He's like, keep that warm. He's not going to have it long, blah, 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 blah.
And then here's where I'm shitting on it. He starts walking to the back, but Paul Heyman stays exactly where he is. Paul Heyman did not turn to walk to the back with him, which totally...
No. At that point, I still thought Breaker would come out, because I didn't realize Breaker was hurt. I thought Breaker would come out and he would do and then Seth would do the old Bret Hart Hogan thing, and Breaker would run down. Yeah.
The reason why I don't think that happened is because, yes, while Breaker did appear to be hurt, Breaker does appear to have avoided serious injury. So that is breaking news, folks.
Good.
Braun Breaker is not seriously injured. I'm sure he'll be doing something on Monday Night Raw tonight, probably right about now, since we're at 8:30 at this point.
Let's go.
I know. I'm sorry. A lot of shit, with 2 nights of SummerSlam. Seth goes down. He sits there, tells Punk, I got 9 months to do this, blah, blah, blah. Then he drops the crutches, pulls the leg brace off. All the while, CM Punk is just still sitting in the ring.
That makes
and
sense.
I know it's kayfabe. It's the story. It's what you're expecting. But this is the same guy that when he beat John Cena,
he took off,
grabbed that title, hopped the guardrail, and took off running. And you want to know why? You want to know why I'm okay with the fact that he didn't do that? Because it was against Gunther.
Yeah.
Because Gunther beat the shit out of him. He had nothing left in the tank. This wasn't, it wasn't a 60-minute Iron Man match or anything like that, but Gunther beat the shit out of him. Wore his ass out.
What's my man, as my man, the Samoan Wolf, he dog walked his ass.
Ramin. So, all right. So, Seth Rollins walks out, WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
He beats the fuck out of Punk with that damn case first. Then he cashes it in.
Had to.
Curb stomp.
Because I guarantee that Seth is going to be one of those fair weather champions right now where he's not really wrestling, because I do think there is something to his injury. I just don't think he's as injured as I need surgery. I'll be out 9 months.
I sent you something on what do you call it? On Facebook Messenger. Is something about Seth Rollins put it on TikTok. He said, I told my daughter that I was, hurt, but I wasn't really hurt. So kayfabe, just not tell anybody. And she proceeded to go to school and tell her whole class.
What I do think is great is that backstage when they were at Evolution, Seth Rollins was there in crutches.
Yes.
when they did everything, and you know what? There is a small rumor, and obviously we're not watching Monday Night Raw right now, but there is a small rumor that LA Knight was in on the whole thing. And if LA Knight was in on the whole thing, could you picture him being the fourth member of this group?
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Wow. Okay.
I'd love it because LA Knight would be such a better heel than he is a babyface. All right, night 2. Ready?
Yeah, been ready. Let's do it.
Naomi versus Rhea versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship.
Was an awesome match. That match was fire.
I mean, what a way to start a fucking PLE.
That match was fire.
It wasn't just fire. It ended exactly how we expected it to.
And I like the callback.
Yeah.
They even mentioned it was a callback to the match with Bianca, where I think Naomi was doing the cover. She saw Io, she moved. that match, and I think Rhea. I'm afraid that Rhea's about to turn heel. I think Rhea's about to lose because you saw she was sitting on ropes and she's smacking herself in the head and she's talking to herself. I think not being able to beat Io is about to drive her crazy.
I want to give props to the entrance of Naomi here, though.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know her dad. He's like played for Cool in the Game, played for all these other bands. I didn't even know that about her dad.
And he is fire,
dude.
Bro. That dude, like Living Color needs to call him up and start playing Cult of Personality. Like that dude is amazing.
I thought it was cool that his guitar was the color of the Caution tapes too.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That was
absolutely
awesome.
Like when she came out to start the night and she was the only one that had the special entrance, I was like, the fuck? And then all of a sudden they're like, that man playing guitar is Naomi's father. And I was like, what?
Right?
And I immediately texted you and Shavar, and you were like, that's cool.
And it was. I was like, damn.
But
you want to look her dad up, dude, because
fucking incredible. And yeah, they mentioned he was with Cool in the Gang. He
other bands.
Yeah, like all over the place. But dude was fire. Like he did not disappoint. And on the biggest stage that he's probably ever played on, he killed it.
He killed it, dude, and with no fear. No fear.
And let's keep in mind, so did Naomi. 65,000 people.
Naomi, man, she deserves this run right now, dude.
She does.
She dusted her ass off. She left, made some of herself, came back. They okay for, and they even said on commentary. They said on commentary for when she first came back, they're like, okay, yeah, you're back. Then they just fucking like forgot about her, and she's like, what that? And she did it herself. She made it herself, and she fucking deserves everything she has right now.
And you want to know the thing that it probably helps the most, besides her?
She's married to an Uso.
No.
She's part of that family.
No, it's Jimmy Uso. So no, it's definitely.
Oh yeah, it's Big Jim now.
Yeah, Big Jim. No, no. It probably helps the agreement between them and TNA, because she reestablished herself in women's wrestling in TNA.
Yeah.
And then when she came back at the Royal Rumble, it was like, oh shit, right? But then she got shit on. And what did she do? She dropped her gimmick. She went with the story that they wanted her to. And she has crushed it ever fucking since. So Naomi,
yep.
You right now, Naomi, I'm going to say right now, Naomi is female wrestler of the year so far. We're 8 months in, and she's female wrestler of the year.
She's got competition. You got damn Perez. You've got Tiffy. You've got some competition for her.
Maybe, but you're talking about they've already said that the triple threat match at Evolution is the best women's wrestling match of all time. She won that. She won this one at SummerSlam.
We'll see. Okay.
She won the Money in the Bank. She's the women's champion right now. Like right now, like even the PWI like women's 100 or whatever they do. I think Naomi really makes a statement for number one.
All right.
Next matchup, I believe, was it the TLC match or was it the Women's Intercontinental match?
I want to say it's the Intercontinental match because I don't think TLC was next.
I think it was. I think they went with two women's matches in a row. And I spelled Lyra wrong, and I apologize for that. I can fix that.
I don't. First of all, Bailey wasn't even on the card, and for her to come in and interfere, even accidentally, with this match and cost Lyra this match, to cost Lyra this match. So now Lyra's feuding with Bailey. So where does that leave Becky? And I heard somebody. So what did they say? Becky,
well, I'm hoping what this does is it really pushes Lyra Valkyria to sit there and go, I'm going after the Raw Women's Championship, going after Naomi. I think that actually is a really good competitive new fire, right? Obviously, I think Becky and Bailey can go after the Intercontinental belt. I think what they're trying to do is establish that belt, make sure that it actually has like some depth to its history. Because I mean, Lyra Valkyria winning it means, oh, that's great. Here's a new girl that came in and she won that belt, and who cares? Right now, you have the best of all time, Becky, going up against Bailey, who is one of the other four horsewomen. And I think that you really set up something special there.
I don't think it's. I think it's going to be Bailey and Lyra.
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe Bailey ends up beating Becky like tonight, and then Lyra goes, now I can challenge for it again. Maybe. But I think Lyra could move on to the Women's World Championship and actually attempt to get it. I don't know if she would get it, but I think that she's a competent enough competitor to go after Naomi and not win.
What do you think of Becky's new music?
I liked it.
It was cool.
I liked it. And in fact, if you watch the post show, she sat there and people were like booing her and everything. She said, oh, you're going to boo me. I'm the best. I'm the best of all time. I did this. And then she goes, you know what? Just go ahead and play my brand new music so I can leave. And they played the new music and she left. And it was great. It was great. Then we had this.
Dude.
Hold on. Before anything gets started, before we really talk about this match, they said, well, first of all, the Dudleys were in the audience. The Hardys were in the audience. Obviously, Edge and Christian were not in it. They might have been. They just didn't show them on TV. But they then said, this is going to be a car crash. There's no other way to describe this. But I do want to put this factor up here one more time.
How's it? Oh, what? Okay.
The entire Wyatt Six, but also
the women.
Candice LeRae.
Dude, I thought she fucking blew her knee. I thought she was done.
I thought she was dead.
The way she landed on her knee. I saw the way they kept playing it. I'm like, she just broke her leg. She just broke her fucking leg.
That ladder exploded. Like there was no pieces of that ladder underneath her. She went through a ladder and it exploded. And then, did you see them outside the ring after the whole thing? Ciampa's sitting there. backstage. This is probably after. It was probably during the post show. Ciampa sitting there going, Doc! He sounded like Roddy Strong. It's like, Doc! Get the doctor! Johnny Gargano sitting there going, I was supposed to be a voiceover person after this. How am I going to do that with this voice? And his voice didn't sound like what it normally does.
Dude, that match, I think it topped the one they did on SmackDown.
I think it did too, but I think it did because there were like 6 teams involved and like 8 other people.
It wasn't 8 other people. You had Candice, you had the chick
B-Fab.
that was B-Fab, and then you had Nikki Cross.
Then you had Uncle Howdy.
And Eric Rowan. Okay, 5 people.
So I said 8. It was 5. Okay.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's no DQ.
No, you're right. Did the right team go over?
Yes, sir.
So keeping it on the Wyatts made sense.
Yeah, because you don't want it. They just want it. They just want to give them a couple more. You know what I'm saying? Just like that's why I didn't think they would take the belt off of Naomi because she just won it.
Agreed with you on that one.
Yeah. And that's about the only one who just hadn't had it that long to establish themselves, and the Wyatt 6 are right there with them. See, Michael agrees.
I mean, I already agreed with you. I felt like they kept it on the right team. I love the fact that they actually put all these teams on SummerSlam.
Yes,
because they even mentioned that the Street Profits hadn't been on a PLE in 18 months. And we saw the last time they did a TLC match. So the fact that they hadn't been on a PLE was a travesty of justice.
That one point, and they didn't follow through with it. I'm like, they're going to do it. They're going to replay it. When Ciampa was hanging from the belts,
and he did that,
and Frazier was on the rope. I thought he was going to do. Remember how when Edge speared Jeff Hardy while Jeff Hardy was hanging? I thought they were getting ready to do that, and then they came and pushed that ladder out from under him. I'm like, oh, he did, because he fell out the ring.
Well, if you remember, Frazier did dive at Ciampa.
No, he got knocked off the ladder before he moved.
No, Ciampa did the whole like spin up, and he was just holding himself upside down.
You're right.
And I told you when it comes to gassing and everything else, Tommaso Ciampa like has more cardio, obviously more core strength. That dude literally turned himself upside down so he didn't get speared. And you could even see it. He's holding himself, and his legs are above his head.
Yep.
And then he finally like let himself down, and Johnny finally got the ladder underneath him, and you could just see him, and he's like, oh. By the way, that's why Tommaso Ciampa is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And Johnny Gargano, same thing. Like those guys, but nobody.
Foley was your favorite of all time.
I said one of. Yes, Mick Foley still to this day is my favorite of all time. But the MVP of this match was Candice LeRae.
Yes.
And Johnny Gargano looked at her and gave her a thumbs up so he could go at. She didn't give him a thumbs up.
She gave this one. He gave her a thumbs up. She gave him that back.
All right. Next matchup. Ready? Was it Solo or was it Dominic? I think it was Solo. Fatu!
He proceeded. Fatu was whooping that ass. My favorite part, I think one of my favorite parts of that match, when they were trying to Solo trying to go through the door, and Fatu stopped him. He slammed the door. Lock that motherfucker. Lock that door. This is he said. What did he say? He said,
It's all gas, no brakes.
no, he said it's all
I
gas.
said,
No
it's all
goddamn
gas,
brakes.
no motherfucking brakes.
That's what it was. I was like, damn.
He said,
And
you close that door. It's all gas, no motherfucking brakes.
and at the end of the match, where he went to the very top and did his moonsault off the top, I'm like, that's a big boy coming at you off the top of a cage.
And he took out 2 Tongas. And Jimmy locked them in. Big Jim.
Big Jim. Solo, I guess that's another one.
Big Jim's got the best job in the world, man. That dude doesn't have to do shit. Just sits there, has to like, oh, you want me to lock the gate? Okay.
I thought Fatu was going to win, but maybe again, Solo hadn't had it long enough. Maybe,
Why I said Solo hadn't had it long enough. He's going to hold it. I didn't think that they were going to do enough damage to Fatu, and they didn't. I feel like Fatu actually came out of that looking like a superstar.
Especially when he broke the handcuffs. He just yanked that. I was like, holy shit.
Unfortunately, it was the second time in the night that they did a handcuff spot. I mean, I know Lyra was the plastic shit, but I mean, she was in those for like 10 minutes during her match. This was again, I just want to point out this was another one of these where it's so much outside interference. Like they gotta figure out a way to allow these matches to breathe and not have all this outside interference. I'm tired of it. It really degrades the quality of the match. Yeah. Like now, granted, if you had said that all of the Tongans were going to be in the ring and then the door got locked and Jacob still sat there and put on like the performance that he put on, then I'd be a little bit different. Because if Jacob took out almost everybody and still lost the match, that means that he really whooped everybody's fucking ass, Right. And I'd have been down with that because it'd have been like, I mean, like I'd have been all about it. The problem is that what's that?
About it.
Yeah, yeah. Rowdy, bowdy. Yeah. I would have totally been about it. I totally would have been all for that. The problem is that like we're supposed to figure that Solo and Jacob inside the cage is a fine match. I don't see that. We know Jacob when he gets him one-on-one without any outside interference, no way to sit there and like beg for mercy or whatever, Jacob's going to win that match. Right? So, but I told you last week that I felt Solo wins this match because it's just too early to take the belt off of him.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
All right, here we go. Dominic versus AJ Styles. What did you think about AJ Styles bringing his son out looking like Dominic Mysterio from 2005? With the blonde hair, the white t-shirt.
I just noticed the
lowrider.
I didn't notice his son.
So first of all, AJ Styles wore similar gear, but his son even had blonde hair like fucking Dominic Mysterio.
I didn't even notice that.
So I want to point out that the post show there was a massive dirty Dom.
He's turning face. It's a matter of time.
It's weird because it's hard to turn him face because he's so dastardly.
But people still cheering him though, So
I agree.
I think it'll go like we said about We said it. You just said it about Tiffany. No matter if she's face or heel, she's the same Tiffany. We go back. Always go back to Stone Cold and The Rock. You know what I mean? They can do the same things they did as a heel. People start cheering them. They don't change what they're doing. They just change the opponents they're doing it to.
Well, I agree. It's just harder with Dom because he's never done anything good. You know, like does he suddenly save his dad from getting beat down by somebody else at like a AAA event or something?
Or he finally has enough of Finn and just tells them all, "Fuck you."
Well, I mean, the Judgment Day thing I think is going to happen, right? Like, does he take it over and make it a babyface group, or does he leave because Finn sits there and turns on him, which is more likely? And I'm okay with that, considering Finn did bring in Roxanne Perez, JD McDonough.
It'll probably happen when Liv comes back.
Well, I mean, Liv doesn't even need the Judgment Day anymore. So
She'll have Liv with it. You know what I mean? Liv comes back.
She'll help Dominic. Yeah.
And she's got something for Roxanne too.
Well, did you see Liv Morgan's response to them losing the women's tag titles? Said, "Aw, shucks."
Damn. Damn.
The way this match ended, though, I want to get back into Dominic versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles, obviously, like 41, 42 years old. Dominic Mysterio, 26, 27. Dominic wins the match, claiming that he is a 20-year veteran, which, by the way, made his first appearance at SummerSlam 20 years ago. So he does kind of get to say that. AJ Styles backstage during the post show mentioned, "What am I even doing here if I can't beat some punk nosed kid?" Blah blah blah. So we'll see what AJ's got going for him. I'm hoping, because it really does feel like since Triple H took over that AJ Styles hasn't won a match, and I really don't like that, because AJ Styles is one of the greatest of all time and really should be treated as such. And I'd actually like to see him versus John Cena one more time. You know, because remember, John Cena did sit there and say the guy from Georgia.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. And then proceeded to have one of the greatest SummerSlam matches of all time with AJ Styles. All right. You ready?
Yep.
Here we are. Dog show. Sorry.
So this, well, you already mentioned it earlier. You popped yourself. I don't even know what the fuck you said. This you've already said earlier. It started out with the black and white, then the color came out. Came out in the colors and looking like a big box of.
I want to point out
pebbles
that that Friday night he came out wearing the olive green New York Jets colors. And at SummerSlam night 2, he came out wearing the red, white, and blue of the New York Giants colors.
He's like a big box of Fruity Pebbles.
He really is like a big box of Fruity Pebbles. But when it came up, so Cody came out. Let's start with that first. When Cody came out, they put 2 different Dusty Rhodes promos up there. And it wasn't AI, because a lot of people thought it was AI that they used to recreate his voice. And when Cody came down to the ring, Cody was, he was ready to ball. Like, he kept it together, but he was about to ball. And then when John Cena's music first started, it came up with just the black and white John Cena. And you could hear like a groan in the audience. It was like, oh. And then all of a sudden it became like all 4 of those giant LED light up screens that they had. And that crowd fucking exploded. Now, I want to remind you, John Cena is from Westbury, New Massachusetts, right?
They're Boston.
If there's anybody that's going to boo him his entire career, it's going to be the New York audience.
They were in Jersey, so I think that saved him.
Well, you might be right, but it was when you say Jersey, it was the stadium of the New York Giants.
Mm.
That place exploded. Like, I mean, we're not even talking like Road Warrior pop. We're talking like if that place had a roof on it, it didn't after he walked down to the ring. And what I loved about it was he went to Stu and he said, "You got to run in me?
Yep.
You ready to run? All right, let's do this." And they ran down to the ring together. And the whole time, I'm still sitting there going, is he full of shit? Is he faking it? And by the time the match, and I didn't think he was, and I don't know if I told you this like off air or not, but I didn't think he was because when he walked up the ramp on Friday night and they showed him and there were like 3 kids on that rail, he went up and he went and like gave them all like dap and everything else, shook their hands and said, no, I'm back. And that's what made me think, no, this is for real. Because if he had said, no, I got all of you motherfuckers, like that would have been the most dastardly thing he could have done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now
I had two theories that I shot you by text. No, I shot you by
one
text.
of them Austin? Was one of them Austin theory?
No. The first one I sent you was, what if, because we're still going on, Cody was a heel, right? So I said, what if Cody wins with the help of The Rock, because The Rock comes back and he's now sold his soul and he becomes a corporate champion, right?
Well, I kind of want to talk about the match before we get
Yeah. I want to say that first, and then I'm going to hit you with that second theory. I came out. I said, but what if this? And as soon as I hit send, because it happened. As soon as I hit send on my text, it happened. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah. By the way, folks, he told me not to be a bitch.
Yeah, because you always do that. I said it well before the music started. You go, oh, his music started as you played it. No, bitch, I hit send before it. See, this is the problem I have with Rob. If he says it, it's okay. But if somebody else shut up. If somebody else gets something, shut up. If somebody else gets something right, he's got to have a caveat to why, yeah, you're right, but. And that's exactly what you tried to do. That's why I said don't be a bitch.
No, I wasn't doing that at all. I did like sitting there hitting you with that like but I wasn't even thinking that.
I was like, because we'll talk about it at the end. I'll tell you why I thought that as it happened. So let's talk about the match.
So let's talk about the match. And I know that we're now at an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, so let's do this.
We started early. We started an hour early. Easily, John Cena's best match since coming back.
Yeah, give you that.
Not just his best match since coming back. Probably his best match in the last, and I'd really have to look at what else he did, but I'd say the last 10 years.
I think he's had a couple of good ones in the last 10 years.
I'm sure he's had a couple good ones, but remember, he went 2,000 days without winning a match. And this is a loss, but it's like this was the first match that felt like John Cena about the same time that he did Rock Cena 2 years in a row. Or Cena CM Punk in 2013.
Okay.
Like, when you look back, now there are moments in this match where Cena looked tired. He looked spent.
I think
When
just
he, well, agreed. I mean, he's my age. He's 47. When he went under the ring with Cody, and you see him come up and he's got Cody on his shoulders, and it's that slowest fucking elevator ever. And when he got up there, I'm pretty sure he was just supposed to walk him down the ring. And he said, "Oh, fuck that. I'm sitting there giving this, I'm throwing this guy off right now."
he still had to carry him down that ramp to
And
the
then he
ring.
still carried him down the ring. And yet, after he did the attitude adjustment, if you noticed, John Cena put his hands on his knees and did everything he could to catch his breath.
Yeah, when you minute, what was it in the Unreal? He said, you know you're old when doing this hurts your hip and hurts your back. So I mean, he's
One of my favorite lines that was said in that entire Unreal thing was when John Cena came back with the championship after WrestleMania 41, and he sat there and said, "I went as fast as I could. I went as fast as I could." You know that, and there was moments that there was the one that sticks out in my mind, such a bad moment, is when John Cena had the tire rack or the bike rack, and he went to hit Cody with it, and Cody went like this and still went.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It was bad. And then Cody sat there and suplexed him into said bike rack. John Cena doesn't have to do that.
Mm-mm.
He is legitimately at the point in his career where if he gives you an 8-minute match, you sit there and say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" And yet he put on a 40-minute match with Cody Rhodes where he hit 5 attitude adjustments, including the jumping one off of the American announce table into the other announce table. He hit a Pop Rocks. And Wade Barrett actually later on said, "I hope he got the okay from Roxy to do that." But it became a 6th move of doom. John Cena's never done that move.
That's true.
He laid it out. The only thing he could have done in that match to improve upon it, and I'm glad they didn't do it, was bleed.
Yeah.
If he had bled, because even and in fact, there was a specific spot where it would have made sense when Cody Rhodes hit the Cody Cutter off the top rope through the table, and John Cena went like this. If John Cena was bleeding after that, would have been the only thing that I felt would have improved the quality of the match. Neither one of them looked like a heel. Both of them had heel qualities. Because both of them did things that a heel would do.
Yeah.
Neither one of them were heel. They literally took advantage of the match stipulation of being a street fight. I do want to point out that at the beginning of the match, John Cena hugging Cody Rhodes and telling him, "Are you ready to do this? Let's go ahead and do this." And then the two of them backing up and just started punching each other. And then at the end of the match, shaking each other's hand at the end of it. Even Cody Rhodes sitting there giving the salute, kind of like that was the first moment in the match when he did that. That was the first moment in the match when the crowd cheered Cody.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd booed Cody the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
But when he sat there and went like this, and he even still had like a semi-evil look on his face. But he went, hit him with another crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Match was over. And remember, John Cena, when he saw that title belt, looked at it, picked it up, and went and threw it down. It literally threw away everything that The Rock said they should do. And it was amazing. It was beautiful.
Yep.
Anything you want to add?
No. I guess that match. That was an A. That was an A+ match. That match was just phenomenal.
It's the first A+ match in John Cena's return. And I mean, remember, he went against Solo, he went against Austin Theory, he went against all these like new guys while Vince McMahon was still in charge, and he lost all those matches. This was his first loss
That didn't hurt him.
that everybody looks like, and they go, it elevated him.
Yep.
And I mean, John, dude.
And The Rock not coming down blew away my first theory. So we're sitting there watching it, and I'm like, he's been in that ring way too long. I'm like,
were you thinking what I was, where Cody Rhodes was standing outside the ring and he went like this, and then all of a sudden you were thinking, Cody's going to come running back in?
or you're gonna get, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, right?
And
that was what I thought was gonna happen.
And when Cody disappeared, I'm sure that's when your next idea came up.
So Cody disappears, and I'm like, well, damn, no Rock. I'm like, but what if it's Brock? And I hit send, and as soon as it sent, his fucking music hit. I was like, son of a bitch.
I am going to say that I immediately sent Tino a message that said, your message came in after his music hit.
And that's when I told him to stop being a bitch, because it goes back to, he just can't say when somebody else gets something right. And when he calls something right, he writes the shit and everything's cool. But somebody else says something, he's got to have a caveat and why. And now,
no. And truth is that, like, I don't know when you originally thought that. I do know that you would have had to have been thinking it when you started texting it, right?
Mm.
I didn't look down and see it's what if it's Brock until the music was already playing, and I'm looking and I'm like, are you serious? And then I look down and I'm like, oh, Tino mentioned it already. So I'm not even disputing that you said it. And it makes so much more sense to me that they turned John Cena as quickly and as possibly as they did on SmackDown to be babyface again, because they're now either planning France or Australia or both with John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. And I don't care if Brock Lesnar shit in another woman's hair. I don't. At this point, get that shit over with. Fact is that,
like we said earlier in the show, the views of Rob isn't always part of Tino or the Potsy.
Hold on. I'm getting around to that. Here we go. The fact that TKO approved an appearance by Brock Lesnar means that Brock Lesnar, I'm assuming, is cleared of all charges in that thing. It's been 2 years since he appeared on WWE programming. The only time we've seen Brock Lesnar is when Mia Lesnar is sitting there winning some sort of shot put competition. Brock Lesnar showing up on TKO programming at SummerSlam 2 years to the day when he was on the last time means that he's free and clear. Or it means John Cena demanded it and they agreed to it. Which, by the way, I could totally see. Because John Cena wants to go. Look at who he's going through. He's going through all of his favorite opponents.
Yeah.
And Michael Cole actually said, John Cena has said that Brock Lesnar is his greatest opponent of all time.
Brock Lesnar's dog walked him every time they fought.
I mean, John Cena's beaten him, but there was that one time where Brock Lesnar whooped his ass.
Suplexed him like 35 times.
John Cena still won that match, if I remember correctly. He rolled him up. So, after, I have 2 questions left.
Oh, God. Okay.
No. It's about this, and it's about SummerSlam in general. What do you give the match?
I just said that match was an A+.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think Dave Meltzer gives that match?
Probably 2 stars. Because it didn't have his damn.
Didn't have Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay in it. Yeah. All right. My next question. Which match was better? The CM Punk versus Gunther match or the Cody Rhodes versus John Cena match?
Oh, fuck. The Cena and Cody match.
Really? Now, nobody is sitting there saying that is a SummerSlam, like, top 10 match of all time, but they are saying that about CM Punk and Gunther. And yet both of them got interrupted by, once again...
I still think that, I mean, the CM Punk Gunther match was good, but the fucking Cody Cena match, man, it's just, I don't know, man. I thought it was better.
I agree. I remember, so for those out there, Tino and I were in a group chat with our buddy Shavar, BZ Presidente, and BZ fell asleep. And when he woke up and that match happened and he watched it again, he said, "Holy shit." And on top of that, he also said,
he had turned his phone down so he couldn't see the spoilers. He didn't want us to spoil it for him.
I mean,
you muted somehow. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. What happened? Did your mic die?
How about now?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm good. I must have actually hit my microphone. Sorry. Yeah, so amazing. Yeah. And I want to point out that I really do think that John Cena going back to being the babyface and what he said on Friday night of listening to other people sit there and talk me into something else, talk me into what I'm not. Me sitting there saying, I want to kill wrestling. You guys know I love wrestling. All of that stuff, I really think, was a combination of John Cena and Triple H's words. I truly think that both of them were led down a bad path by the same person that claims to love this sport. But every time something bad goes on in this sport about them, he disappears for 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tino, I'm not going to keep you any longer because I know you want to get out of here.
Well, we both have. She has to be out of the house by 7, so I don't want to catch her first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Why don't you go ahead? Hold on, let me sit there and see if there's something I can put up here. And Dreadmutt's available now. Yeah, we can do that. Go ahead and tell everybody how they can reach you on the socials. And by the way, thank you so much. This is such a great time tonight.
Yes, you can call me. You can reach me on Instagram @Tino. I am on the TikTok Tino or Great Music. I am on Blue Sky. You can catch us on Twitter, X, whatever, Potsy and Tino, Facebook, Potsy and Tino Show. Here each and every week on the Pots and Pans Network. Please, please, please give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, buy our shit. Always, as usual, we don't use it anymore, but thank you to Adam's House Cat for the long, long time. We use their music, the wrestling song, as a theme song. You still catch it on iTunes for 99 cents. 99. And Rob.
Otherwise, he pretty much went through all of it. I am Pochak, Rob Potsy Pochak on just about everything. I do have some signings coming up. I'm not going to sit there and go through them tonight because we've got a couple weeks before they come up. But, folks, without you, we can't do the show. We love you. We really enjoy it. We've been doing it now for 419 episodes on YouTube.
Damn.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
Wow.
With that said, we will be back next week. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. And he got those little iPad hearts to go up.
I did this earlier and got balloons. I don't know what the fuck I did. Okay.
I don't know what got the balloons, but anyway, keep watching wrestling. Follow us. We love you, and we're out of here. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Ready? Motor City Machines and Potsy and Tino.
For the Potsy and Tino Show.
Thanks for watching.
Monday night, it's time to go. Turn on the screen, let the good times shows. Wrestling life and who knows what. If it's cool or weird, they're talking it up. It's the Potsy and Tino Show. Drop the facts and let opinions blow. Laughs, hot takes, and maybe a rant. Two best buds with the mic and a plan. comment, subscribe, and like. It's time to roll with Potsy and Tino. Let's go!